The funeral service of slain police officer Sboniso Buthelezi at Clermont, west of Durban, have been moved to tears as police walked into the church carrying his coffin. Constable Buthelezi was killed while in the line of duty at the notorious KwaMashu hostel in the north of Durban last Friday. Buthelezi and a colleague were patrolling the hostel when they spotted two men running along the railway line as they chased the suspects. The men fired at them, killing Buthelezi and wounding his colleague. Police Minister Bheki Cele and acting KwaZulu Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi have arrived to join the mourners. We're now close live to the funeral service. We're joined by our colleague SBONGA MBATHA. SBONGA, very welcome, and give us a sense of the mood this morning where you are.
A very good morning, Desiree. Even though I must admit that is not a very good one where we are in Clermont this morning, a very somber mood. We've just witnessed the members of the family being very emotional the moment the eulogy was being read before the church, packed to capacity with women and men in blue to send off their colleague who died tragically after being shot last Friday. So it was a very, very emotional moment this morning. And of course, the police minister as well as acting KZN police commissioner were leading the men in blue, ushering in the coffin of their colleague, sending off him peacefully, saying their last goodbyes. But the most pressing issue here remains, Desiree, because we are faced with the matter of police dying in duty. It's a common occurrence throughout the country because we are sitting with figures that range between 80 to 100 per year. In the last 4 years, close to 400 policemen have died while on duty, while articulating their duties of curbing crime within our society. And coincidentally enough, this incident of Buthelezi happens at a place where it's notorious for crimes. We have witnessed many other incidents happening at KwaMashu hostel. It's a very volatile area, and it so happens that Buthelezi loses his life while operating and ensuring the curbing of crime in that particular area, and loses his life in the line of duty. And of course, the minister will be addressing mourners this morning, and probably his main focal point will be, of course, the issue of police dying while on duty. But there is also quite a significant number of policemen and women who also die while off duty, which I think is also quite a concerning element, which I believe will also be expressed, because it's important to highlight both ends, those who die on duty and those who die off duty. We will remember that this common occurrence, we did witness it a few months ago, where the minister was quoted saying that urging communities to work together with the police in terms of making sure that those who do such are brought to book and justice is served. In this particular matter, we believe that the suspects are still out at large, but police are pressing hard to make sure that they find a lead to arrest them as quickly as possible. Many of them are here today to bid their last goodbyes to their colleague, but also making a promise that whoever did this to them will be brought to book as immediately as possible. Desiree?
Sbonga, you touched on it a bit, the concern with the arrests and conviction. Do we expect the minister to say anything about this during the service?
Desiree, as I had highlighted earlier on, that the numbers are very concerning when it comes to men and women in blue losing their lives in the line of duty while trying to curb crime and keep society safe, which I think will also be an important factor that the minister will, of course, elaborate on, and also shed some light in terms of that detail of arrests and convictions of those who commit such a crime. Desiree?
Sbonga, how is the community reacting to these incidences of policemen being killed while on duty? In terms of organizing formally, is civic society in KZN taking up arms against these criminals?
Like I had mentioned earlier on, that the minister in the previous incident where a police officer lost his life in the line of duty and the police minister was in attendance, he did convey the message of working together with CPF, of working together with normal community members in terms of making sure that those who do such crimes are brought to book. But it has also been a message that has been greatly emphasized, especially on this matter, by the acting KZN Police Commissioner, Lieutenant Mkhwanazi, saying that the community must work with the police to make sure that the safety of the police and their safety is ensured, because when the police are able to do their job of keeping them safe, then we are able to curb crime rates, not just in the province, but also in the country. The community of Clermont, even though we did not get to speak to them much earlier on, because it's a very somber mood, everyone is sad. And it looks like Buthelezi was someone that was warm within the community. Everyone knows him because the church right now is packed to capacity, which is an expression that he was someone not just who's a leader and keeping them safe in terms of being a police officer in the area, but also someone who lived well with the community. So I believe that the call by the acting commissioner in the province and the call by the national minister himself will be heeded by this particular community, because any loss of life, regardless whether you're a policeman or not, any loss of life, because beyond being a constable to the police service, he was also a father. Now he leaves behind 3 of his daughters and he leaves behind his sister. So it's a great loss in that regard. Desiree?
SBONGA, take us through the funeral program today. What's going to happen?
Currently, right now, I believe we are we're right in the middle of the second part of the service, because it was a 3-part service. The first being, of course, the reading of the eulogy and the family speaking up. The second one being that of the church, conducting their church proceedings, because this is a Lutheran church. And then the last one will be carried out by the South African Police Service, where the minister will be expected to speak. So it's going to be the last program for the SAPS to bid farewell formally to their colleague. Desiree?
Thank you so much for your time, and we hope to speak to you later on. And our colleague there coming to us from Clermont in KZN at a funeral service.